Good evening. I'd like to call to order our regular school committee meeting of February 25th, 2015. Our roll call vote, all members are present. I've lost Kim down the end. Hi, Kim. All members are present. One of the good things about change is that you never know what's going to happen, but you have fun doing it, so this is good. We are going to be having an executive session, but before then, we don't want the students to have to stay through this. So what I'm going to do is call on the students and our seniors and get some thoughts and ideas from yesterday and their reactions. And so we have Emma and Stephen.
Good. Oh, the high school, it's really nice. Yeah. It's a really big step up. It's a really great environment.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell we're all jealous. We all wish we could go there or go back and be teachers again or whatever. And so we're looking to hear any kind of good feedback on the high school. Thank you.
Yeah. You want to say? Go ahead. Read it.
So WHS students enjoyed their first full day in the new high school today following the grand opening yesterday.
The Wilmington Lamplighters are debuting J.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit tonight at the middle school at 7 p.m.
And then Model United Nations will be traveling to BC High for their third conference on Saturday, March 7th.
And the student-faculty dodgeball game hosted by the class of 2016 will be held on March 11th at 6:30 at the middle school gym.
Excellent. And I would just have to say, for those of us who were lucky enough to be there yesterday, after the ceremonies were over and the students had settled into their classrooms, there was actually learning and teaching going on. But it was amazing to watch and see the kids. You can see through the glass windows, and that could be the title of a book, Through the Glass Windows. Okay, so thank you so much. We appreciate your efforts.
Thank you.
We have any questions? Okay, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank
you.
All right, I would entertain a motion to enter into executive session.
I'll make a motion to enter executive session.
Okay, do we have a second? Mr. Mulis. All right, from which we shall return. Thank you. Thank you. Mrs. Bonish. We have to say roll call. Mr. Bjorn.
Yes.
My mind is, sorry. Mrs. Broussard.
Yes.
Mrs. Burns.
Yes.
Mrs. Carroll.
Yes.
Mr. Mulis.
Yes.
Mrs. Kane. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. We're now returning from executive session, and our next item of business would be the items of consensus. And we're going to try this a little bit differently. I've been noticing at the selectmen how they do it, so we'll try this a little bit. Items for consideration: approval of the minutes, February 11th, 2015, regular session, warrant L22. Warrant CB04, CB05. I'll entertain a motion to accept those.
I can't partake in the...
The CB. Okay, sorry.
I'm sorry.
And I think a couple of us were absent on the
You can
11th.
still do it.
Okay.
Yep, we're going to go with those, so. Okay, so we're doing A, the minutes, B, warrants L22, and those are what we can do for all of us. Mr. Mulis.
So moved.
Thank you. Second, Mrs. Carroll. Thank you. All those in favor? Unanimous. Okay, payroll warrant, 114, 2015, 128, 2015, 211, 2015.
I'll make a motion to approve payroll for 114, 128, and 211, 2015.
Okay, so now I should explain that. What we'll do is just say, I'll make the motion for those warrants. Like I said, then we don't have to, we're going to try and read as little as we can and go as far as we can. Okay, all those in favor? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in favor, Kim abstain, Mrs. Carroll and Mrs. Kane. All right, our next one, warrants Circuit Breaker 04 and 05.
I'll make a
Mrs.
motion
Walsh.
for those warrants.
Okay, second. Mrs. Carroll, all those in favor? 6 in favor and 1 abstained, Mrs. Burns. Warrants, SPED 08, SPED 09. Mrs.
So
Carroll.
move.
Second, Mrs. Bonish. All those in favor? Okay, 6 in favor, abstain, Mrs. Burns. And warrants FS 08, 09, and 10. Mrs. Broussard.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, second, Mrs. Bonish. All those in favor? Okay, 6 in favor and abstain, Mrs. Carroll. Okay, thank you very much. Right, our next item, we had the superintendent's representative, the student representative report, and so we'll go right to the superintendent's report.
I would just like to report that the grand opening ceremony, as I think you heard from the students as well, for Wilmington High School did occur yesterday, and I know most of you were in attendance, but reports are that it was an exciting day and enjoyable day, and students very much enjoyed being in the building, as did staff as well. So today was day 2 in the new high school, and reports were that everything went smoothly and operated smoothly, and so we're up and running. We are no longer a construction project, we are a high school. Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to let the committee know is that Senator Tarr, when he arrived, as he was a little bit late, did not want to take any more time than necessary, but he did bring with him a citation, and I think that from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And I think, did you want to read this?
Official citation. Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to the Wilmington Public Schools in recognition of the new Wilmington High School. Be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends best wishes for continued success, that this citation and to be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate. And it's signed by President Teresa Murray, and it's offered by Senator Bruce Tarr on February 24th, 2015. And he was hoping we may be able to put it up somewhere if that's going to be.
Yes, we received a similar official citation from State Representative Maselli and Gordon, and my plan is to turn this over to Miss Peters, and she's going to make arrangements to have them framed and hung at the high school, probably in the same area where the building plaque is currently hung, perhaps.
Okay.
She'll pick that location.
Great. Thank you very much. All right, go on with your report.
That's all for my report.
Oh, that was a wonderful report. Okay, so our next item of business will be the old business and superintendent's entry plan findings. At our last meeting, we had an introduction to it, and then we were going to start discussing it tonight.
Sure.
So I'll let you go.
Yeah, just to give sort of an organizational recap of the report, we talked about, in the presentation I gave you, we talked a little bit, or I presented to you, what the goals of the entry plan process were, what the steps of the process were that I engaged in, including conversations with individuals and small groups and parent focus groups, staff meetings, site visits, instructional rounds, monthly visits, document review, a lot of different steps to the process. All of the data and information collected was vetted and presented to the district leadership team, and we used that time to really kind of narrow the focus and make sense of data, identify patterns and trends. And the report that was presented to you is organized around the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education Standards and Indicators for Effective School Districts, and it's organized basically by the 6 areas, including leadership and governance, curriculum and instruction, assessment, student support, HR and staff development, and fiscal and asset management. So I was going to delve into the actual, there were lots of findings and lots of opportunities presented, but I know we wanted to engage in any type of questions that you might have.
I think we did have questions. People have mentioned to me the fact that it's so comprehensive, and it's got so much information in it that tonight we could have a general discussion, but then we might, at some point, even starting with the next meeting, want to take a little section of it and discuss it, just that section at that meeting.
Sure.
Does that work out? That's what people have said to me. I like that. So who would someone like to make some general comments? Mrs. Broussard?
I'll just say that I went through this a couple of times, and each time I pulled out more things that either piqued my interest, or I questioned, or just wanted to learn more about. And I guess there weren't any big surprises to me, other than a true realization of how much work this involved for you to put this together. So then I sort of went through the little notes that I made for myself and said, all right, how would I prioritize these as what we should tackle? And I came up with maybe 10 different things, but even looking at that, trying to number them, what's number one, what's number two, I'm at a loss, to be honest. They all seem like important things to me. So I definitely agree with Mrs. Kane that if we could chunk it and continually discuss this. But one thing that stood out is I think we really need a clear vision for what we're looking at, and that clear vision would then break down what the priorities should be. And I guess I would define that as and I think you even say this, as a vision for all student success. And how do we define that, and how do we break that down culturally? What does that all mean? And I don't have an answer. It's just a thought.
Mrs. Burns?
I just want to thank the superintendent once again for providing such a detailed and an unbiased overview of the findings, which has proven not only valuable for your assessment of our district and where to start, but just school committee members where there's a clear evidence of concerns that have not really been addressed effectively in the past, and it'll serve as a foundation to better serve our students and our staff and administration going forward. And I had the opportunity, because I'm a nurse, to actually look through the superintendent's evidence binder after the ceremonies yesterday, and I have to say how impressed I am with regards to the alignment of how you've structured thus far the leadership teams and the vertical teams going forth with regards to how the meetings are so structured. And I got a kick out of you creating the professional learning communities, which I have taken a couple of workshops on through the MASC conference, and how effective in districts these communities become to all the leaders in the district. And it's nice to see those aspects from this various workshops actually coming into light into your plan, and starting. You've already started a lot of the targeting some of the weaknesses, and I really have to say that I'm very enlightened. It's a different path, and I think it's a great path and a great strength. And from what I understand, it will propel us to. I think we'll see a domino effect kind of by these steps in addressing leadership and curriculum. I think they'll all mesh together, because I think it all throughout this report saw like a domino effect. So I think once we start targeting from the leadership, it will all come to par. So as to prioritizing, where do we start first? I think you have, in the sense, by starting working with the leaders and the administrators to give them a firm foundation to work with each other and to learn from each other. So I just wanted to thank you once again for that.
I'll just say I've been so impressed with this entry plan, and I'm thrilled that we're going to do it by blocks because it's so voluminous. What I've seen so far, I've been very impressed with, and I just want to say, from a very general sense, I'm very impressed with how you've come into this district and how much detail you know about this district already, and how you comport yourself as someone who's been in the role for 10, 15 years. So I want to thank you for that.
That's good, thanks. Absolutely. Do you have anyone else want to? Think everything said?
I mean, I agree with Steve. I feel like there's so much that you have found out that, we didn't even know a lot about, and even after, being here. And I just think that's very impressive and very educational for us, so it helps us to make decisions moving forward. So.
Mr. Mealis?
I'm just very impressed not only with the entry plan, but the fact that you came on with the new high school and everything going on, and the school opened on time, as schedule. Congratulations to you. Great job, and with everything going on. So I commend you for just putting everything together in such a short time and making sure that everything stayed on time. So, and of course, the entry plan, the detailed on it, I'm looking forward to going over it over the next few meetings.
Speaking of on time, yesterday when we went to the next item during the day, I would look down at my watch and it would be exactly what you said was the next thing was going to happen at like 10:30 or it's 8 o'clock or something. I looked down and I'm going, how can she be right on time right through today?
Despite having politicians speak.
Yes, that's exactly right. Absolutely. What I'm thinking might be a good thing, because Ginny and I meet with Mary coming up here, is it easier for us if we kind of concentrate on the first couple of items, 2 or 3 items that you're thinking are the highest priority, and then go backwards? Or is it better to go from, lesser priority and then come up to the forward? Which way might work? Or for you, what would work?
I think what would be helpful is, I like the approach of chunking it, and so maybe we take, 2 areas at each of the upcoming meetings, and there's sort of some natural affinities here for which pairs we would do together, and just discuss kind of what the implications are for the school district, and allow that discussion to help us and help you as a committee say, well, these are things that we definitely feel are very important. I think the process of actually establishing that these are we've got to come up with a set of essentially strategic objectives, and there really can't be more than 4 because it's just too much to focus on. And so the idea here is that those strategic objectives will be the things that we'll focus on will help to address those concerns in those areas, in multiple areas. So by solving those 4 things, we'll solve a multitude of things, and that's the key. So, it may not be a specific opportunity for inquiry or growth that becomes the objective. The objective is more, here's an area. Perhaps it's, student support and doing a better job providing a least restrictive environment, more inclusion. Well, that's an area. So then, if we all agree that that's really going to have, if we focus a lot of our energy and effort in that area, that's going to help support this vision that all students can learn and that we're committed to the success of all students, then it's a matter of, okay, we've identified that. How do we shape it as an objective? How do we turn it into a statement of a strategic objective? And then from there, I think it's up to the district leadership team, since they're sort of the boots on the ground, to say, all right, if that's the strategic objective, these are the initiatives that we need to engage in to be able to accomplish them. And then from there, here's the action plan, and it's going to be a multi-year effort to address a lot of these things. Right. So I think having the discussions about the findings will help us and the committee will help the committee sort of ferret out and allow it to, those priorities or those things that you think are really important to focus on, to bubble up through the conversation process. Right. And that'll be another piece of information along with the district leadership team feedback that will allow us to say, yep, these are it. These are the 3, these are the 4 areas.
Excellent. Sounds great. Does it sound good for everybody? Mm-hmm. All right. Great.
And it's not surprising you don't have any answers. I think that's exactly what the report of findings is, not necessarily intended to produce answers. I think more than anything it produces questions, but then it's a guidance, a way to guide us towards those things, identifying those things that we think are most important to address.
All right, excellent. Okay. Our next item of business is new business, which we're not going to have tonight, new business. Except maybe we could do a presentation under new business. Should we do that?
Sounds like a
Let's do a
idea.
presentation under new business. Okay. Are you going to be able to? We have a surprise. Ron and Dawn, we would like you to come and stand in front of the camera. Good, and you, we should have told you, I should have told you, you're going to be on TV tonight.
Stepping out from behind the camera.
Can you, I know, that's why I didn't tell you. Of all the people here, I've been working with you the longest, and I just have to say that this entire... Are you on the camera? Yeah. In working with Dawn and Ron, it has been such a special event. We never had to worry whether things would be working or not, whether they would be here or not. You've done such wonderful work, and when you read this plaque, people will not believe it's been this long since.
Well, you know, sometimes the meeting didn't go live.
But then it always did the next day.
It was next day, or even,
Yes.
we would take the tape, I would drive it to the station, and they would play it maybe like midnight. But
And Kathleen, this is for afterwards.
Okay, so this is a present of February 25th, 2015, to Dawn, the appreciation of 23 years of dedicated service recording school committee meetings for the Wilmington community.
so where did you get this
So we want
information?
to thank you.
And do we have one for, and we have one for Dawn?
We appreciate all of your
This is for you.
Yes. With the same
name, please.
Now, people were asking me if this means that you're not doing this anymore, but it's changing, and so whatever way we do it, we probably won't be seeing you. It's going to be automated, so, but you need to open these up because people are going to be jealous. You have to open up your present.
Open up the present.
Yeah.
That's why Lisa at the station asked me some questions, a couple of...
Oh.
Okay, Ron. Okay, Ron. This is,
That's the card, but yeah.
thank you from everybody. Thank you from everybody. I'm hoping we're all on.
On TV.
I wonder if you guys are cut off right around the chest.
I know.
Thank you very much. All kinds of goodies.
I know, I will say one night, I did say to Dawn, please don't put the camera on me tonight. I'm just not with it. And every time I looked up, that camera was right on me.
The question was asked, what year did I start?
Yes.
1992, and one of the ladies that works at the station was born that year.
Oh, my gosh.
Makes me feel old. All
That
kinds of goodies.
does.
All right,
There's a couple of goodies.
come on, look what we got. I actually got a Wilmington hat.
It's a designer hat.
No, wait till you see this, and look at the sleeve.
Oh, that's nice.
Very nice.
Very nice, thank you. guys.
Do you see what's on the sleeve, on the side? Other side?
The other side.
The other side.
Oh, you better hold on to those, or they'll be gone.
WCTV,
WCTV.
thank you.
Our special
All of you
people.
responsible for this, and, you do the math, 1992, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
2010 is when I started actually working at the station. I
Wow.
volunteered 92, 02, 12,
Wow.
13.
Yeah, they were
A
right.
long time, a long time. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
So we hope you're going to see us on a regular basis anyway.
I hope I got myself in the shot.
I hope you did
And if I didn't, well,
too. You know
We're gonna have
what?
to find a new cameraman.
thank you very
You're
much.
such role models, even for the students.
If you want to sit in the brand new suit.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
You're such role models for all of us. Do the
So
work and happy.
unexpected. I didn't even
Get
know
nervous.
this was coming until seconds. So thank you all.
You're very welcome.
You're so welcome.
Have a nice hat. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, public comment. Do we have public comment? No. Other reports? Oh, the public comment could be, we have plenty of this, I was going to say this yesterday, and it went right out of my mind. In our new position over at the high school, where we're going to be eventually, we have space for like 108 audience members.
Wow.
So,
No more standing room only. like we-
yes, exactly. And Mary Palin, I'm sure we could get her to help us with a little collation every time to attract people to come.
Come on down.
So come on.
I don't know about that one.
So the room is unbelievable. You'll be loving, I think the first meeting, people will come to see what the room's like. We're hoping. Okay, other reports, we will be getting along now. It seems like this is the first day of the rest of this year, actually. And so after today, our different subcommittees, I think it's time to start meeting again. We'll do that.
I do have one thing about
Oh,
the
perfect.
spelling bee.
Okay,
So it's next Thursday, March 5th. The doors open at 6 PM. The bee starts at 7. It's a free event, so please, everybody is welcome to come and support the teams, have fun. They're going to do a little dress up. We're going to have some fun with it. So it's free. It's at the Knights of Columbus.
Free to attend.
Free to attend, yes. Yep.
You still have room for tables?
Yes. Yep, and we have plenty of room. And anybody who wants to sign up for a team, we're still available until tomorrow. And we do have some sponsors too. So if you'd like to, please contact one of us. We'll get you in. And that's it.
and the wannabe winners couldn't take it this year.
Maybe. The trophy will be back.
I know, that competitive Roman House Warriors team.
I
to
know
contend
it.
against.
We don't have a school committee member.
Well, we have 3 of us.
Oh, yeah, oh, good. You guys can
Yeah.
represent us.
Yeah, we'll be, me and Karen, yeah. Okay, future meeting dates and agenda items, March 11th will be our next meeting, and I believe Doreen Crowe, was that the one?
That's correct. She'll be coming to present on the School Health Advisory Council.
Okay, that's good. And March 25th will be the meeting after that. So I think everything's all set. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Mrs. Carroll?
So move.
Do we have a second? Mrs. Broussard? All those in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dawn and Ron.
Thank you.